too, because they make everything accessible to the client, so you guys can see this for yourselves.
So CDs is if I put money in there, I can just leave it in there and I don't have to touch it until the end.
Yeah.
Until like, but CDs helps your money, your financial. You get more money.
They give you free money basically.
Oh, okay.
But you're entering into a contract to not touch it until the term ends.
That's what I want to do, because I'm tired of touching my money. Like if I have access to my money, you will never see my money. You know what I mean? That's what I need. Yes.
So you see, as of today, the average percentage yield for a 1 year online CD, which is just a certificate of deposit, is 4.00% variable. These is variable because these are always subject to change. So every day people like to come in and see what the new one is, right? So for 1 year, if you want to keep, let's just say, and this is the part that I love, right? It has a calculator down here. If you put $5,000 in for 6 months at 3.80, you're only gonna get $94. But let's just say we playing with big boy money, and we put 50,000, right? Now for 6 months you can get almost $1,000 of free money, right? And for people who got $50,000, they're not looking at 6 months, but you just got a random extra $1,000 out of nowhere. But let's just say you're trying to keep it in there for like 5 years, you'll get an extra like almost 10K.
Damn. See, that's what I'm trying to do. Like at least you're earning, even if it's $91, you're still earning. You're earning to save. That's a blessing.
But that's why I say if you put real money in, like look, $100,000, right? That's when you start seeing the benefits of like actual like. You get what I'm saying? Like actual numbers. You're still getting
so
free.
People are really making money off of this.
If you have it. Exactly. If you have
we don't have it.
You know what I mean? But that's what I'm saying. Like a lot of people come in. A lot of people come in.
I just got into a serious car accident.
I'm sorry.
Like no, thank you. It's okay. But I literally just had like $25,000 to my name for the very first time. I've never seen this much money. If I would have known about this, I would have put like $10K in there. I'm so mad.
You see, so
other banks are
the
not
more
even
you know,
doing this. But you know, the other banks are not doing this. You know, they're not educating,
because they wait for you to come to them.
That's not
you
good.
Know? Yeah,
they don't want you to make money.
And that's the thing, because even if you put $1,000 in there, you're still gonna see a little something. You know what I mean?
It's better. It's something better than nothing, and also you're earning. You're earning, and it's inspiring. It's like, why would you sit and spend and not earn? This is like, we need this kind of education. This is like a generous move.
Yeah.
Like, you know.
And so depending on what what kind of contract you want to like go into,
I'm gonna
you can
do it
check
cheap.
up here. A lot of times we have like sometimes like it's variable, but you can tap in one time and you'll see 5% here. Like, and right now it's like at 3.50.
Let's see what I can afford. For 5 years, I want to do this. But what would I? Oh, just put in. How much would I put in?
So this is what you would decide, like where you want to, how much you want to put in.
Let's say I put you said, okay, let's say I put 200. That's fine. So 200 for 60 months. Yeah.
For you only get $40.
That's fine. It's a start.
Because
I get disability. I literally only get like I have to pay my rent. Like I don't work yet. I don't do any side jobs or anything. So if I put too much money in my CDs account, I won't have my rent. I won't. You know what I mean? So,
yeah, but this is something I like to encourage people to do, or like educate people to do if you're ready, like to really invest real money, because I don't feel like you're gonna get a benefit if it's
except
not.
for saving though.
Yeah, but $40, but you would get in 1 year, depending on like with this one, right? And this is the customer can always do what they want, right? But with the regular 360 savings, let's just say you have 200. There's no calculator on this one necessarily, but let's just say you have 200 in your account. and it stays there for a year, you're gonna accrue.
Oh,
more.
I see what you're saying. Even
get
if
what I
you're
mean?
not putting money in there, it just holding it for that much. So you're saying like wait till you have a lot of money to put in, then that way you can be able to earn a lot. Where am I gonna get that much? I'm just thinking like
Just
that
you
makes,
never
I'm gonna be a
know.
stripper.
You never know. Like
Oh
you
my
see how
goodness.
something happens, you get money.
Wait till you have big money so you can. I get what you're saying.
If you're working on the stuff that you're working on, advocating for people in the way that you are, God is gonna have you get and receive in ways that you never even imagined. But the
Right.
knowledge-based things that you need to know, like, okay, if I get another $25,000, now I know that I could put 10,000 in a CD, maybe for
How
5
much is
years.
it to put 1,000?
1,000 in a CD.
Because the thing is like my goal right now is saving. I'm so tired of not having money. Like 4 years later, I didn't save a dime. So my brain is yeah, I want to earn, but I don't know when I'm gonna get big money ever again. I don't, and so for me, I'm like I want to start saving now, even if I'm not earning that much. But at least I know that. But I get what you're saying. But you can still add more money in there, right?
With the CD, no.
Oh,
That's why,
that's the
so
trick.
you can't add to it.
That's
like
why
you
you're
can't.
saying
It just
that.
has to sit. It has to
got
sit
you.
there. You know what I mean? So if you have,
So you have
a
to save your
savings
little
account,
money in there, savings until it becomes big money, and then
for $200 for 5 years, you're not going to be able to touch it just to get $240. You know, whereas with the regular savings account, you can add on to it and just not touch it.
I get what you're saying.
You know what I mean? Just keep adding, and then with that high average percentage yield, you're letting that money accrue. So each time you add money, like let's just say each time you get paid, same thing, girl. I was like, I don't want to touch the money.
Yeah.
I created a offshore account, like not Capital One, because that means if I go into my account, I can see it.
Yeah.
I don't want to see it. I don't sign into it or nothing. But each time I get paid or some kind of check, there's a direct deposit that just goes to that account. Something that I won't miss.
Yeah.
But I don't go and touch that money.
So who do you talk to the bank about that?
So, well, because I work here, I know how to set up the direct deposit. You could do a Chime, you could do anything, like a digital bank, like something that you can have access to if, like, it's an emergency. Like, you need to go to New York to see your daughter. You know what I mean? This is what this money is for, in case of emergency. You know what I mean? So you're able to go there. But the surprise is like, if you get 52 checks in a year, right? Out of those 52 checks, however much you're getting paid, whatever you could spare, $30 out of each check. 150 out of each check. If you can manage it, whatever you could do without missing it, right? Without being like, damn, I needed that. Whatever it is, right? You have it go to that account. So for each check, it goes to that account. At the end of the year, you go back to that account and you look $2,000 of money with no responsibility, just money that you put aside. That's why it has to be money that you can't miss, because if it's too much, then it's gonna be like, oh, I can't do it, I gotta go touch it, I needed that. You know what I mean? If it's too little, it's not gonna accrue enough. It has to be enough. Like if your check is $2,000, $150, you're not gonna miss that. You know what I mean? If you have bills and the real stuff, okay, maybe $100, maybe $75, and $50. You know what I mean? Something to where you like, okay, this is gonna go, and I'm not gonna miss it, because in 2 weeks, if you spend $2,000, you don't pay rent bi-weekly. But people got car bills and car notes and stuff like that. But something that you won't miss, the amount of money that you're saving times the time of money that you're saving, with you being disciplined to not touch it, is what accrues the amount of money that you're going to get at the end. And that's your reward to step into a new year in a different financial bracket than before. And if you're getting a raise or something, increase the money that you put in over there. You know what I mean? Because that helps you save, and it's all for you, but it's money that don't have a responsibility. Now you can buy a car if you want. Now you can move to a different state if you want. And if you do this year after year for, let's just say, 5 years, you're going to have like what, 25,000, 30,000?
That's nice.
You know what I mean? And that's just money that you save, because we really touch money.
We
just spend it. We touch it and we spend it. It never sits.
It never sits, and it needs to sit.
Exactly.
Well, I mean, for people that know, the issue is it needs to sit for people that don't have it. It doesn't need to sit for people that do have it, because there is so much work to do in the country that that money could be used. People are dying left to right, even the richest die, and then what do we do? And how do you build good relationships with people if you're not helping people? How do you build a good relationship with this country if you're not?
You know what I would say also, even, let's just say you save, right? And then at the end of the year, you got $2,000, right? And now that January 1st comes in, you're going to do the same thing. That money is just going to keep each check. That $2,000 that you had from 2024, you could put that in a CD.
Nice.
You get what I mean?
Yeah.
So now that money is accruing in a CD, and you're just still saving with this money over here. So you took that 2,000 out that account, shifted it into a CD, have it accruing for maybe a year, you know, so that way after the year you can get your money back, and then you just take that next 2,000 that you got for that year and now put in another CD, and now you have $4,000 that's accruing. That's how you take benefit of the money and the percentages that these big corporations are offering you. You gotta learn how to flip it.
You gotta learn,
But
you can't flip it if you don't have banks like this opening your eyes, like you've explained it to me. A lot of people need this to be explained properly, and asking questions is so important, because people don't know what information to give you, because they don't know what information you need.
Yes.
But I think like when you work for a bank, I think not assuming that people know is very important. Just I think it's your job, people that work here's job, to inform that, because you're the one that studies the place. We don't know.
And
we never
Capital
know.
One is big on that, like financial literacy. And the good thing about this job is that we don't have quotas. That's why we didn't initially tell you to get an account or something like that. If you need it, then we'll help you get it. But our job is very conversational based. So a lot of the things that I was able to present to you today was just off of me just listening to the, you know, discovery questions, or, you know, you just said this and this, and it's like, oh, boom, boom. But we have all these things that you can benefit from. So after we open up the savings account, we can sign you up for Money in Life, and that's free. You get 3 free hour sessions.
Nice.
You can do it online, or you can come in, and then that's that third room, that third nook that's over there, and you will sit with a Money in Life mentor. Or if you don't want someone physical, you can do it online and just have someone that's all the way in Texas. You can have someone in, you know, Miami, wherever.
Right. No, I would love that.
And then you just have those, but you really want to utilize the space for what they're offering. And if you begin to work with a nonprofit or something, that room right there, you can book for free through Liquid Space. But it's for nonprofits and student groups. So this space is
nonprofit
really
in terms of like what what you want to build, or what is already available.
So even if you started something, there's certain tax qualifications that you have to have, like a specific thing. It's on Liquid Space. So the requirements are there. And if your nonprofit fits that, or your student group fits those requirements, it has to be obviously in alignment with Capital One's like morals and goals and stuff like that.
That sounds good. I want to do something like that. I want to open a nonprofit. I want to do, because I don't believe that people are really doing what they're supposed to do in terms of helping the homeless. That's where I really want to start something. And I was thinking of doing something like a GoFundMe page, or I need that support. So like, I can build a team where we can really do something, where we can see we're monitored, and we show people, because we need to show people how to run their nonprofits that don't know how to do this, and that are not doing things properly, instead of us working under them, because then they're going to just tell us what they want to see. And if we don't listen to that, then you're fired. But it's like being able to take advice from people that show up and like, hey, well, what do you think you can bring to the table to make this? Because I'm like, for me, it's like I have to be online. A lot of people don't show their face, and then it's like, well, who is it? People don't understand the importance of cameras. Every business, and if you sit down and talk, your business is going to grow if you are on the internet. You get, because you reach out to more people. People need to be on their phone. Instead of being, which company? If you are online and you're actually always on here, people can be like, okay, this, you can make a phone. You know, a lot of people, like even Path, I couldn't even just call them. Like, you have to know a specific person. Like when I used to live at Path, I had a caseworker, but you can't just, they have to come to you. You can't even, they have this number, you can't even.
That's what I like about these agents that we work with. They're social workers. They're very hands-on, and they care.
Right.
I can tell by when I first met them, the way that they were asking. They wanted to make sure that our security wasn't like, how do your security handle?
I love that. So that's my brain.
But our security is great. Like, I'm the liaison, safety and welcoming with them. So we go between corporate to just adjust certain things that need to be tweaked and things. So I was able to, like, you know, comfort and be like, oh yeah, we have a zero tolerance policy for, you know, them putting their hands on them, or even them putting their hands on our security, because these are men.
Or aggressiveness.
Just yes, with security with them, but them with security as well. Because we're here to provide a space. We're not here to make you feel a type of way. But we do get a lot of unattended children that come into this space. So things have to be structured here.
Exactly.
You get what I mean? So it is a lot of people see the cafe, but it is a bank. So
it is a bank. You gotta be careful.
We abide by banking regulations too. So some people come in like, oh, it's just a cafe, and it's like, we'll say something, and they'll like flip, and it's like, we have nothing against you directly. These are the rules and regulations that we have to abide by as a bank, or we get dinged because there's a bunch of cameras here, and then I get the calls.
Yeah.
You know, she will get some calls. Like, we all get calls to be like, hey, what happened? Did we see this going on? Customers and clients don't see that end of it, but we have to try to filter that conversation in a way where they understand, like, you're welcome in this space, yes, but there is an etiquette to be in this space and just flourish in it. Because as you can see, we have so many different things for you guys, you know, like, just you get 50% off if you, now that you got a car, you get 50% off.
I remember that. I had just forgotten that. And also I think retraining workers, because I'm the kind of person, like, not waiting till some, like, if you see just anybody, just because, like, you know, people will usually, when they see that I'm recording, they're able to behave. But I want this to be good even behind the cameras. You get what I mean? And just like in other places, people don't, you know what I mean? People act out, and I've noticed that. Before I was able to have all my stuff, I would get abused so much, and I'm like, what are you doing? Like, you know, and it wasn't necessarily here. It would be like at Starbucks, and I'm like, why are you like, I used to work for companies, you know, and I was really great before I became disabled. And so my brain is like, what are you doing? Like, you know what I mean? Because this is a money-making thing. I'm a money maker. In order to make money, everybody has to be on point, meaning you can't have an attitude with customers. I love every person that comes in here because they're the ones making this place grow. You invest money in here, but who's going to make it grow? Because if it doesn't grow, then you just wasted thousands, millions. You know what I mean? And so great customer service is the first step because it's memorable. The person that was sweet to you. I remember her. I remember this person was good to me. And then we hear what feedback is important. How was she to you? You know what I mean? Because let's say I'll send a friend. Because now that they know my name and they know what to expect. What were they doing behind for people that were, you know what I mean, are not paying attention? We want everybody, because then it becomes unsafe for important people, more important people, when you're not careful with people with disabilities and you don't talk carefully. They can just slam doors. We want to prevent them from doing that. So I think, like, always being like, hey, you know, like, super sweet, just because when you get affected, it means you're weak. It's a sign of weakness. You get what I mean? Like, if the person that works here is like losing control, gets an attitude, it means that they're fed up. Like they're not being cared for. They've had too much of the same thing. So switching, sending the person that, just observing who's more calm and not sending the aggressive person. You get what I mean? Just so they can deal with the situation. I think that's just great, because I get hurt. Like, when people yell at me as a person with a disability, I go like, you're triggering me. Like, why are you talking to me? You know what I mean? I do have to be careful, but there are people that are unable to do that. And I have a gift to be able to talk, because I've lived in shelters, I've lived on the streets, and I've survived because I've dealt with those people, and I've dealt with them by talking to them calmly. That's how I survive, because I'm going to sleep on the corner tomorrow, and I don't want you guys to attack me while I'm on that corner, so I have to be nice. It's the same thing in here. You know, it's just a different field. So yeah, that's I think having someone reminding people, because sometimes, like, I sort of had, like, my foot, like, on the chair a little bit, because I have to stretch, like, so sometimes I would, like, even like right now, I would have my foot, like, folded, because it helps me relax. I think the guy was like, can you get your foot down, or something like that. I don't know, I felt weird with that, you know. And so I think he just was, you know, if somebody else that's professional does something like that, I think that's the least of my worries if I'm an owner, because I want someone to feel relaxed. And so if people pick on small issues like that, and I think they know who to pick on, you get what I mean, then that becomes a problem, because it's irritating the customer. You get what I mean? And I feel like I'm more of a kind of person, like, there's veterans and different people, and I'm more a person that deals with bigger problems. If that's not causing any problems, I don't think that's a big deal. I feel like if people feel like that's a problem, they should get, like, chairs that you can easily wipe. But the goal is to have people feel comfortable, because some of these people have mental issues. Some of these people, and it's not all just homeless people. They got rich people that come with kids with disabilities, and if that kid wants to sit with their foot a certain way because it makes them feel comfortable, I don't want nobody to bother that kid, because we just got that kid to be quiet. And if they're putting their foot here, if they're sitting, it's not the security's job to tell them sit right. You know what I mean? Because that,
I hear what you're saying.
I don't know if that makes sense.
It actually is, It's a Capital One thing, so
Okay.
it's not even them trying to like be funny or do anything.
Right.
It's literally Capital One regulations to tell people.
Maybe it's them would
it could be the delivery. Maybe the delivery could be a little bit better, but they only do what we ask them to do. They're a partnership, you know what I mean? So they don't have any stake in what's said. We say, hey, this is what corporate say, and they execute it. Right. You know what I mean? But the delivery and how they say that thing could always, be better if it's not that good. But we do get people who like, well, this is a lounge. We could take our shoes off, kick our feet up, and we get the worst of the worst. And then people, when we actually have to tell them like, hey, would you mind A, B, C, D, E? They'll flip. You know what I mean? Or like even if because it's something because they just don't want to be told anything. But
it's the approach.
It's how, but this is also our house. Like this is our space. It's like someone coming into your space and telling you how they're gonna run in your space. I want you to feel comfortable here, but if my mama said that you can't do this in the house, I have to listen to what they're telling me to tell you. You know what I mean? I wouldn't care if I walk in, as long as I'm getting, I'm able to pay my rent and we're doing whatever, then cool. It doesn't hurt or break or make my paycheck to see someone with their feet on the thing. But if I have to go over here and I'll tell you because they're saying, hey, regulations, you guys are steam cleaning too much.
Steam cleaning?
Like their fabrics over the whatever. Like we actually just got new chairs because of the types of things that we have to keep cleaning because we're open to everybody. Right. So we get people who pee on themselves. We get people who use the bathroom on themselves.
They should get some plastic, something more plastic.
And that's the thing, we get complaints about that too, and everything is money.
What the complaints about the chairs?
Yeah, it was uncomfortable, this, that, and the other. So we get them steam clean. We try to, but we can't do that too often either because everything is a budget. You know what I mean? So we have to just ask as nicely as we can and just hope that people understand that this is still a public space. Like we want you to feel comfortable and everything, but after you leave, if there's a footprint there, we have to clean it. There's another customer that comes in that's just like, can you clean that? And they don't always say it the nicest ways. Right. You know what I mean? They just see that there's a dirty footprint. Oh, this place is dirty. Oh, now we got to review. Yeah. So we have to kind of like tap in with people, but I always say, let's remain safe, like let's keep the space clean, but also like let's let them know like you're welcomed in our space. We want you to be here. We want you to be here. Like I love having conversations with people and getting to know them and know what they're into. With things better. Because then you have rapport with them, and it's just a relationship. Like, a bad thing doesn't need to happen for me to need to have rapport with you. I'm a people person. I would like to just get along with people, but it does help when you have those situations and they're like, oh, she doesn't mean it that way. It literally must be something that, because everything here is rules and regulation based. We work to make it.
It's the only way it could be. Yeah.
All these decorations in here, I put that up. All of this stuff, I put that up myself.
It's beautiful.
And it's just because we want to make people feel welcome.
And feel good. And in order for it to stay that way, there has to be some little structure.
Yeah.
I'm thinking...
Especially in Hollywood.
Right. Especially in Hollywood because there's a lot of people everywhere. So I'm thinking like like you say, finance. And I say like, the government has so much money, and when you work with the government, they are, at least I talk to them like, this is the company that's helping. There is a vision, like everybody has a vision, and it's like, if you put that vision in, how can we make it easy for artists and people that are a little off, because we want them here. I defend people like that because we are, as human beings, we're not allowed to discriminate. We're all artists in different forms, and if we keep, if somebody, let's say, is just sitting down, because we have people from military that struggle with their mental health, how do we make them feel welcome without keep irritating them trying to be their parent? You get what I mean? If they're running around being a disruption, that's different. You know what I mean? But I feel like, however, this is just my input, right? I feel like if somebody is like just, sitting like the way I was sitting, for me personally, I would think, but that's just my opinion. How you run yours, if it makes you feel comfortable, but I think we can definitely be more, if I ran my own company, I'd be like, I want flexibility. When I was at church called Hillsong, I used to stretch. Stretching is how I've survived. If I don't stretch everywhere I go, I'm especially when they don't have medication stuff to help me at the time, I would stretch everywhere. But then I would get people coming up to me like, why are you stretching in church? You get what I mean? And I'm sitting there, the pastor just said, take off your shoes and relax. I mean, taking off shoes is bad because if something happens, you know what I mean? Like a glass breaks or something can be a little bit, but there's no glass. You know what I mean? They would be like, oh, you can, but then you make people sign a contract where, not a contract, like something like we're not responsible if something happens to you. You get what I mean? If you want to take off your shoes, it's at your risk. You cannot like if you make them sign, then it's at their risk. But we don't want people walking around without shoes. But if that was the case, signing it, and so they could never. Because in my apartment complex looks like it's beautiful, like a coffee shop too. And I sometimes, since I'm home, I take my shoes off sometimes. But there's the contract is signed where if a glass breaks and something happens to you, we're not responsible, and we sign that, and it's like that's fine. I think they can do, you know what I mean? And even with food, with like Starbucks, they can definitely give some of that food to the homeless outside. Like, why do you have to wait to give it to the programs? A lot of those programs steal food and take it to their houses, and the homeless don't even get that food. I've seen it, even stuff. And it's like, and then they're telling them have limited stuff because limited space. That's understandable. Why should be a little bit of a storage because people want to donate, but you're not giving them the stuff that they need. You're taking it for yourselves. And so with Starbucks, they used to give me like some food, but they say it's a liability. This I would say that's what contracts are for. You know, you make a contract. You say we'll give you this food as long as if it's given to you, it's your responsibility. It's not on us.
And that's the thing. It's way higher than them. You know, it's something if that's what I like about Capital One. We actually have reach. To kind of like talk to people.
You've tried,
yeah. You know, so a lot of things that we do have going on, we're able to kind of like help people out with because you know we can submit customer information and concerns and stuff like that. They actually look for it,
right?
You know, so
no, that's good.
Yeah, so even with Pat, like us as Hollywood, it's a pilot here because this is a high incident location for us. We're like number 3 in the nation for just different incident reports and stuff. So it's just like, okay, so this is what we're dealing with, and this is what we're telling you that what's going on in the bathrooms. And you don't want us to monitor children going into the bathrooms.
I mean, they should hire someone to just be at the door. That's the best thing to do because I hate when I go in the bathroom and the bathrooms are like, it's not the best. You know what I mean? Because then I'm like, I understand why it's like this. Everybody's busy. If you get someone away from the door, there's no door attendant. Be generous. Pay someone to just sit there.
Yeah,
you know
everything's and then, but I'm glad that we can have like emergency cleaning because even at our job description, like the things that be happening in those bathrooms, we need to outsource that. You get what I mean? Like, because I'm here to do this.
Yeah, you know we don't want you to be stressed out.
Outsource, so it helps us, you know, and they'll clean the entire restroom.
Right.
You know what I mean? But we're going back and forth. Like now we have to walk everybody to the restrooms because there's certain things that's happening. So we have to try different things.
What you guys can use, like talking to Apple is a great idea. Can you guys help us? Like what you guys need is somebody ask for the restroom. Maybe like a tracking something that can open the door, like you guys can hold and you don't have to walk there, right?
It's so funny, we joked about that too. We were just like, we need like a buzzer because the frequency in which like the tour buses come and they'll drop the whole boatload and people will come and there's like 20 people at a time and I'm here and they're there and it's just like.
But that's so easy. Yeah, that will make more sense instead of building a whole robot to walk to. No, do it. But right, like that's why talking to Apple is good because if you show them what you're doing, you can convince them. Because I'm like, if you guys can make, well, Steve Jobs died, but we give you guys feedback. You get what I mean? Like that's what they can make. And if you talk to these, sometimes these companies are just the problem is they're too competitive. They want to stay on top, where it's like it's not about being on top. It's about actually doing the job. Like you get what I mean? You're gonna stay on top if you're doing the job eventually. Don't compete. It's a sickness. They compete with power and they want to stay relevant. You get what I mean? You only gonna stay relevant if sometimes you have to die down a little bit and focus on these little things and then you rise. Like it's a boomerang. You get what I mean? Don't worry about this little thing. This is how the universe protects you in this. Like for me, if I'm like this, like how I used to be this beautiful girl, this person. I'm not saying I'm not beautiful now. I was getting way too much attention. I wasn't focused on this stuff. And then they want me to party. They want me to do all these things, and it's distracting me from focusing on the most important issue. So the universe put me in this to kind of get all this extra attention off. I don't like all, you know what I mean? People all over, because then it distracts you from doing what's supposed to be done and makes it unsafe. You know what I mean? Unsafe for you to walk around when if there's homeless people, hungry people, you can get robbed. We don't want that. Especially when tourists come. Like I went to the Club Avalon the other night, and I was on a date with this Indian guy, and he got drunk, and I was basically like his helper, like to make sure nobody's like
takes his money, or you know what I mean. That's what happens when they come. They get drunk, and people take advantage of them that are out here because they're like, oh, that's his name. You know, that's what they do. And I'm like, how do we? If I open a club, I would hire people that you would pay to have someone to chaperone to watch you if you're gonna get drunk, if that's your goal, right? And that's how you can make more money, because then you can walk around the city and that person will feel safe, and that person, you know what I mean? Because then you could take care of the girls. When I used to be an escort, and when I used to be an escort, I would get a lot of guys tell me girls were taking their money. You know what I mean? And these are just innocent guys desperate for a girlfriend. You know, I used to be an escort and a prostitute. So it helped me understand that lifestyle better. If I was like an owner, a president, I would understand, like, okay, because in Vegas, prostitution is legal. So I'm like, why don't you guys make prostitution legal in California? I don't think that's a big crime. You're helping a guy that guys get taken advantage of, and they marry the wrong girl, and they end up taking half of their profit, and this girl doesn't do, like, I don't know if you know Justin Bieber and Hailey Bieber. Hailey Bieber just like spends his money, and now he's like, he doesn't have the assistance and the therapy that he needs. You know, he got abused and raped by P Diddy, and he's like acting like a homeless guy. Nobody's assisting him. This is a millionaire. I'm like, are you guys serious? And then Hailey buys at 1.5 million. Like, they're taking advantage. Like, Hailey, what is your goal in life? Okay, you have road, but you have this husband that's investing in your company, and now you have a company, and now you're ignoring the man, and you're irritating the shit out of him, making it impossible for him to marry someone else. Because now he's an asshole. Because I was talking to Justin, and he became an asshole, and I stopped talking to him. I said, you're gonna have to help yourself, because they put away his money. They put him in a conservatorship. If you're an addict, if you're blowing money, people just taking your money. They usually give you a conservatorship where they hold your money. You can't spend it. You can only use a card on important things. So he started asking me for money, and he was an addict. So I was like, I've dealt with addicts before, and I'm like, don't ask me for money. That's a turnoff. And it's like, you were desperate. You were saying you're desperate for a girlfriend. You're desperate for a wife. You're trying to replace Hailey. But then when you talk to me, you don't want me to talk to nobody else. But I'm like a caseworker. If you're not giving me information, then it's harder for celebrities to give information, because people use that information. You know what I mean? So he's like, wait till we meet. I was like, but I don't really feel safe with you. You know what I mean? How can you prove to me? And then he has trust issues. We're both in Hollywood. Beverly Hills is down the street from my house, literally a bus ride away, right? And so I'm like, the thing is, he's a star, and if he exposes me, I can't be exposed, because I'm not ready for that kind of exposure. Physically, I'm not ready for people to be on me, because it comes with a price. Like, people start making fun of you, people start doing all sorts of things, and that's really bad for your mental health. You get what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
And so that's why I couldn't do it anymore, because I was like, it's too many people. Like, I literally get online and I start defending Justin in his account, and I'm starting to get a lot more like likes and stuff. But I'm educating the people online, where I'm like, you guys are making it hard for celebrities to want to help. These people have money, but if you're abusing them, they're not going to help us make America great. They're taking your money. You guys they're rich. They can do anything, you know what I mean? And when you abuse them and not help them, they're gonna be like, fuck that. Sorry. So that's just a lot of things. Like, I'm just like, so I just stopped talking to him. I was like, because I'm also recovering. I'm like, you're gonna have to pay me. I can't do this for free. You know? And why did I forget my password? Oh, okay. And they had like this whole, like, they called me, Meta called me to do like a whole interview before I started talking to him. And everything is just crazy when you're dealing with celebrities. They have power control issues. You get what I mean? Like, they want you to just do whatever they, you know what I mean? They're so used to being in control that they look at you as, like Justin Bieber's issue was like, why don't you just do what I tell you to do, or what I'm asking you to do? I'm like, I'm not a licensed therapist, first of all, and another thing is that I told you I have my own issues to deal with. I can't be a patient and a doctor at the same time. Like I can try, but if you're hurting me, they're professional people that are strong enough to handle these cases. But if I have emotional issues as well, I can't. So we're reading.
So this is just you verifying your information for your savings account.
Okay, so mailing address is wrong. Okay, this is residential mailing. I want these to be the same because they're gonna mail this. Actually, leave it like that because can they mail my card to this number because I'm moving out of this apartment soon.
To this address?
This address.
Is this the one
that's
you
my
put in?
mom's address? Yeah.
So then they'll
Okay, cool.
So this is for your savings. The savings account doesn't come with the card. Just the
Can you
checkings.
change my checkings to that address as well?
Let me just see what it's listed as.
Oh snap! Okay, we have to wrap this up because I haven't
Your address is the 732.
72 the mailing address. Yeah.
So you can just press it. And
Glad I looked at that clock.
so add money later if you want to do it. And then something This is what you would give people if you want your money to go directly into your savings account.
Yes. Okay.
That way it is not untouchable.
You can print it out. They won't even know.
And now you're all set. So when you sign in on your phone, you'll see both of these account options. And your card will come in the mail at the 732 South Normandy.
Yes.
In about 7 days.
Oh my god.
Yeah, of course. And then
Oh my god, you've been so amazing. Yes.
Tuesday, we'll see you. And if you want to come back on Tuesday, I can sign you up for the Money in Life
I
to
wanna
take
do
those
that.
like sessions.
I will know. I'm gonna do that. That's and you know, I'm moving. I'm hoping everything works out well. I'm supposed to be moving down the street here, which is gonna be a lot easier because my clinic is in Hollywood. You know what I mean? So I believe everything does happen for a reason. I'm a dancer. Like I'm an artist. So I need a place to release to like do my craft. But when they don't have programs and things like that, I'm not that kind of person that can sit in one place and just be quiet. Like sometimes I become a singer. You get what I mean? And it's like and when you tell me you can't do this here, you can't do, I'm like, you're stopping me from my rights as a person. You know? All right. Thank you, Melissa. Have a good one. Oh, can I get that? Thank you, babe.
house and shit. Like, damn, I was like, Hanover Park. I live literally on Leland Way. Hanover Park is, look, one shit. You're gonna go right here where Chick-fil-A is, right? Here, when you see Chick-fil-A, you're gonna take a quick right, right where Chick-fil-A. Yeah, go to your left.
Chicago. Approaching Hollywood and Argyle connection to Metro B line.
Well, they have to turn off watch. Yeah. So it says that it's a 7-minute walk. So if you go past, if you go up Sixth towards Sunset, and then it's the building that is above the post. Above? Yes. Of course. Happy New Year.